Hey team, today I'm going to show you that you don't need fancy power tools, or any for that matter, to try your hand at furniture makeovers and restorations. How groovy is this mid-century marketplace find? A quality piece by Nathan Furniture. They're a company that began in 1916 in London, and by the 1960s their popularity grew and so did their range. This corner cabinet is showing typical signs of wear for its age, but it also has a few extra bumps and bruises that need addressing. If you stick with this video until the end, you might see that pieces that don't actually look too bad to begin with end up with the most stunning glow-ups, and this is one of those pieces. I get a lot of comments from viewers that are grateful that I tend to use basic tools when I'm working on a piece. I do this on purpose. There are many super talented creators on YouTube with workshops that some of us can only dream of. Do I get tool envy? Yes, of course I do. Do I enjoy watching their videos? Absolutely. Do I learn things? Always. But with flipitnation, I try to showcase tips and sometimes out-of-the-box DIY solutions so everybody can see furniture flipping as an obtainable craft. So believe me when I say, if I can do this, you can too. I'm a firm believer that if you think you are the best in the room, you're probably in the wrong room. I'm going to remove the black paint from this base. After I have done that, I will repair this fracture. I start with my scraper but soon realise the paint will require a chemical stripper. I always do a rough sand prior to application, and this gives the stripper a head start. I leave it for around 20 minutes before scraping. You can see this paint is deep in the grain of the wood. I'm going to be applying a dark stain later, so this process is really just to clean it up and give me a workable canvas. I use steel wool on the corners and hard to reach places, and then give the whole base a wash down with warm soapy water. This damaged veneer fortunately hasn't completely broken off and gone missing, so I'm going to glue it back down and clamp it. A syringe is a bit of a novelty. I used to use a small paintbrush or even a knife blade. Just get the glue as far into the tear as possible. I choose to use my scraper to remove the finish. Why do I scrape over sanding or chemical stripper? Well, I always try my scraper first, and if it works, I go with it. Stripper, in my opinion, is quite messy, smelly, another consumable, and it can be quite time consuming. But of course, it is legendary when you need it. And electric sanding through a finish clogs up sandpaper, can result in swirl marks and blotchy patterns, and you do risk sanding through the veneer. So the scraper got the job today. I always go in the direction of the grain and don't push too hard. I then go over the whole piece with 150 grit sandpaper. This repair is coming along nicely. After sanding, I apply a small amount of filler to the corner. Once dry, I sand it to shape. I then use water to help give me a good indication of what the colour might look like once I've applied the finish. This helps me to blend in the filler. I'll have to revisit this at some point, but it's getting there. I also patch up some of the other small imperfections. I choose a black stain for the base. I go with a stain over the paint as it's more durable and it won't chip. I also think it's a better fit for this piece in general. After it's completely dry, I do a second coat. It's now time for some honey on toast. It's now time to apply some hard oil with fine steel wool. Using steel wool helps to create a super smooth, even finish to the veneer. And I remove any excess with a lint-free cloth and then allow it to dry overnight. Occasionally, it's quite hard to tell if hinges etc. are solid brass or plated steel. So I use 400 grit sandpaper in an inconspicuous spot to see if sanding removes any coatings. Here you can see the axle inside the hinge isn't brass, but the rest looks good. I use Barkeeper's Friend into some boiling water, swish it about for 30 seconds, and leave everything to soak for around 10 minutes. Unfortunately, this draw pull was a little bit stubborn and I couldn't remove it, so I had to alter my approach a little bit here, but this did the job and that's all we need. I scrub everything down with steel wool and follow up with a little bit of metal polish to bring out some shine. Some people prefer to leave the original patina, some like a shine. I choose the latter for this piece. I also put one coat of hard oil onto the base, but I forgot to film it. It is now time to go over the unit with beeswax. Again, I use fine steel wool to apply and then buff my heart out with a lint-free cloth. I repeat this step twice and you can see how much the grain is popping. The finish is super smooth and it feels very hard wearing. I complete the job by going over all internal doors, shelves and compartments with Restore Finish. As this piece comes to an end, I'd like to thank you very much for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, I hope I haven't put you to sleep, and if you've been here before, thank you for your continued support. If you've enjoyed this video, please do me a favour and hit the like button, it's a huge help. And if you would like to see more of my videos, perhaps a cheeky subscribe wouldn't be too much to ask. A screwdriver, a sanding block, a scraper, and of course some products can get you some pretty epic results. Anyhow, let me know what you think in the comments. And until next time, take it easy.